Look at all these felonies.
This is good. This is really good. You want to be very clear. Some of these aren't actually federal laws. Some of these are going to be state laws, okay? And the federal laws one, I know a lot of you guys don't like it when we say the ATF creates these laws. In this specific case, these aren't laws that the ATF created. These were laws that were passed by Congress, the NFA Act of 1934, and then it was amended in 1968, I believe. Yep, 1968, looked it up. So these were laws that were passed by Congress. The ATF is simply there to enforce the laws. So yes, when the ATF creates new laws or when they misinterpret the law, that is what I have a problem with. But we're gonna go over all these state laws and federal laws today, and let me know which one you guys think are the craziest ones. Max, you're a pretty unexperienced shooter, right?
I'd say a novice.
How many times have you shot?
I don't know, I mean, maybe like a dozen times more a year ago, but very simple guns.
So you have some gun knowledge.
Yeah.
If you were to look at all these guns that I have here today, could you tell me which ones are rifles and which ones are pistols?
Yeah, I could do that. This is definitely a pistol, rifle, shotgun, rifle. Neither. This one's a machine gun, pistol, and I don't know. This one's, I don't know about this one really. If I had to guess, a rifle.
Okay.
Has that?
Out of the 7, you got 3 right.
Really?
Yeah. This one is actually a rifle. This is a short-barreled rifle. I paid the money to convert this from a pistol to a rifle.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, I know. That's why we're making this video today. This guy right here is actually a pistol. I bought this thing as a legal pistol. It is registered in my name as a pistol according to the ATF, and it meets the legal definition requirement as a pistol according to our current gun law. I know it looks like a rifle, but this is actually a pistol. And so if I were to put a vertical grip on this guy right here, this would be against the law. This is a pistol. This is not a machine gun. This one, uniquely enough, is a rifle. But let me tell you something that's really interesting about this thing. Because this barrel is only 13 inches, they had to pin and weld on an extra 3 inches to make it a legal rifle, meeting the 16-inch barrel requirements by federal law. So this one, if I were to take off this little device right here,
that would be a pistol?
This would be considered a pistol. And in some cases, they'd call an AOW, any other weapon, because it doesn't really meet either requirements. So like this one, this is a shotgun, but really it's an AOW on paper. That is how I had to buy it as an AOW. This one was a pistol until I converted it into a rifle. You are correct that this stock and this vertical grip, this is a dead giveaway to a lot of people. This has become a rifle. When I bought it though, it was just this tan part without the vertical grip. No stock, no suppressor, nothing else on it, and it was a pistol.
Oh.
But this is exactly why I think it's important for people to know the difference, because if this was a rifle and you went out and shot it and this belongs to me, or if someone sold you something, you could end up in jail and pay a $250,000 fine.
Go sell some pest control.
By the way, both Max and Reese, they work for a company. I own a few companies. One of them is a summer sales program designed for young kids, college-age kids, to come out and learn confidence, communication, salesmanship, leadership, a whole bunch of different skills, and they make really good money. I mean, Max, how much money did you make last year doing this? Selling pest control.
Like 120.
Dang. Your first summer, Reese, how much did you make your first summer?
$74,000.
So if you guys are looking for a job, if you're a college-age student, or if you're a dad out there and you want your kid to come work for me,
or if you get in trouble,
and you need to pay off some fees to the government, shoot me a DM. Follow me on Instagram, Pew Pew Dingers. Basically, this first gun law is just knowing what you have. Is it a rifle or is it a pistol? And in my personal opinion right now, I think we've done a really poor job of identifying what these weapons are. And especially people who don't shoot these guns are the ones making the laws or guidelines or rules telling us what they actually are. I think we need to completely wipe this out and restart it from scratch. The second gun law I want to get into here for a second is actually the vertical grip. Hopefully you guys know that you cannot put a vertical grip on a pistol or an AOW without having the proper tax stamp, okay? This is what they would consider to be a vertical grip. However, there are different types of vertical grips. This one is slightly canted. The reason being is because some gun laws are written that a vertical grip has to be 2 things in particular. One, a 90-degree perpendicularness to the barrel, okay? Like a square, if that makes sense. This one is not 90, it's more like 88 or 87.5. So then they said, okay, let's make a new law that you can wrap your thumb around this. And if you can wrap your thumb around it, then it's a vertical grip. Let me give you an example of this. TP9, this is your bore, okay? And you have a vertical grip that's not entirely perpendicular. It's more at like an offset 85 degrees maybe, I'm not really sure. So the law is that if you can wrap your thumb around it, that is what would be considered illegal on a pistol.
What if you don't have, what if you can't do that?
I guess in some cases, then it's not a felony.
It's legal, I guess.
Yeah, for you, maybe it's legal, dude. But this is the exact reason why I think we need to start again from scratch and redefine some of these weird laws. This is a pistol, or this was a pistol, however. This is a P320. This is intended to shoot one-handed. You would operate this weapon with one hand. However, most of the time, everyone shoots with two hands. You have two hands, you have a support hand and your main hand. So this would be considered totally legal to shoot a pistol two-handed. Although it's not the intent, and their word, not mine, the word intent is on the gun laws. Now, if you were to drop in your vertical grip and you shoot it two-handed like this is now a felony. Not a felony, felony. Not a felony, felony. That is wild to me, that this is the difference. Now, luckily for me, I paid the tax stamp. I bribed the government with $200, and so I can legally shoot this thing two-handed with intent to shoot it two-handed. Now, would this actually increase my accuracy? No. I think this actually makes this gun heavier, bulkier, and way more dangerous by putting my hand that close to the barrel. But again, if you don't pay for the tax stamp, this would be a felony. And you could land yourself 10 years in prison, federal prison, or a $250,000 fine.
What's crazy is this thing doesn't even help you shoot better. So this one's a pistol, but it looks like a rifle. Can you put a vertical grip on it like this?
Yes, you can do that if you want to pay $250,000.
That's okay.
So no, you're not supposed to put a vertical grip that's perpendicular to the barrel.
Okay.
Now I know it looks like a rifle, it shoots like a rifle, it acts like a rifle, but it's not a rifle. This is a pistol. And a lot of you guys who say this is not a pistol, this is something else, this is purchased and sold as a pistol. So you cannot put a vertical grip on it. Now what you can do is put a horizontal grip. This thing, totally legal. This is why I think the laws are so dumb. They're saying that if I were to put on a vertical grip right here to this, that my intent is now to shoot it two-handed. And the intent is what they don't want. They don't want it to be intended to shoot two-handed. But if I slide this thing on, which this is not a vertical grip, this is a horizontal grip. Now, if I put my hand right there, the intent is no longer to shoot it two-handed. At the same time, whenever we shoot a pistol, even if we're shooting a revolver, I want to shoot it two-handed. My intent's always to put two hands on a pistol. This is exactly why I think we should change the current law. And because this thing is a pistol, you have to have a pistol brace on the back of it. You cannot put a normal stock on the back of these things. So this next law is a state law, and is actually kind of one that infringes upon, I think, people's rights. In certain states, they are requiring that they make the firing pin have these micro etchings on them, micro stamps as they call it. So as it hits the shell case or the primer right here, it leaves a specific stamp behind. And that is a unique stamp to that rifle when they sell it to you. That's registered in your name in some of these states. And so if you were to go murk somebody, your shell casing pops out, they go to the crime scene, they pick this thing up, they're gonna go have this on file. They're gonna be able to tell who shot this round. That sounds like an infringement. I don't know if they're doing it for rifles. I just happen to have a firing pin right here. I know they are doing it for pistols in certain states. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you think the government should be micro stamping our firing pins or not?
Not good. What do we do? Honorable mentions. I got my notes ready. In Washington, D.C., if you own ammo but don't have a registered firearm that is matching that caliber, you are breaking the law, even if you don't have a gun at all. That's ridiculous, okay?
Wait, let me, I don't think I understand that. So you're saying in Washington, D.C.,
yeah,
if I live there and I have this in my pocket, and the ATF or the FBI or local law enforcement, they find it on my person or in my home, and it doesn't match a caliber that I have in my home, That's nuts.
I know.
Dude.
So your dad, for example, can't give you a bunch of ammo, like as an inheritance.
Yeah.
He can't give you that, or even just a single
Unless I own a gun in that
registered
caliber.
Yep.
Wow.
It's crazy. Now the fine for that, okay, is up to a year in jail or $2,500. Sometimes both.
A year in jail for owning ammunition that you don't have a current caliber gun to?
Yeah.
This is beyond stupid.
The shoestring machine gun. The ATF once ruled that a looped piece of string could be considered a machine gun if used to assist in pulling a trigger rapidly on a semi-automatic firearm. If you possess the shoelace in that specific configuration, that's illegal. The last one, this one pisses me off the most. The ATF can reinterpret laws at any time.
This is the one where I disagree with. I don't think the ATF has any legal right to reinterpret or redefine laws that have been written.
But they
Congress,
think they can.
This is what's dangerous. And I get it. You know, we have these things like force reset triggers that come out, and you can shoot almost fully automatic that way. Or you have the switches on Glocks, like things that happen that are maybe loopholes of some sort. And the ATF comes and say, well, we think this, and so therefore this is the new law. They should have no right or authority to do this.
Yeah.
Congress alone.
Yeah.
Now the argument is, well, what if there's a loophole and it is very dangerous to the most of us as civilians or law-abiding citizens?
But the odds of that happening, like nobody really cares about
No,
that.
it's just push Congress to act faster, sign it into law. I think what I'm trying to say on this one is be careful. We know that the ATF cannot write their own laws. Certain states, so check out your local state laws. You guys probably know this. You cannot buy too many guns in the same exact month. And by too many, I mean one. You're limited to one. There are certain states that have what they call gun rationing. So again, here in Arizona, where I'm from, there is no law on that. I can go buy 100 guns today if I wanted to. I might get a little red flag by the ATF, and they might come to my home and ask me some questions, but it is my legal right to do so. In other states, this gun rationing law prevents law-abiding citizens going to the store and purchasing or acquiring a firearm. You're limited to one per month in some cases. And sometimes you have to wait 10 days for approval to come back. Imagine if your life was endangered, or there's some type of risk or threat to your life or your family, and you can't even go to the store and purchase a firearm. That to me is unconstitutional. The other cool thing is in certain states, when you can buy as many guns as you want, you don't have to go buy them through an FFL dealer. You can actually buy them and sell them or trade them through the black market, as some people call it, or through other websites, or through your friends and family. Two questions. Number one, are you a Arizona resident? Yeah. Okay, and do you have a felony? I can now sell it to you. My favorite places to exchange pew-pews is actually on a website called pewtraders.com. If you guys don't know, it's 100% free. It's a community-based Facebook marketplace for pew-pews. So you can go on there and browse and acquire other people's trash. And some people's trash is another man's treasure.
This is good.
This is really good. A lot of states, you are limited to a 10-round magazine, just 10, okay? In my state, where I'm from, you can have 30-round magazines. In fact, you could have drum magazines. You could have no magazine. You have it's called a nut sack. You could just have a nut sack full of ammunition. This is totally legal in my state. In some states, it's not. To have a whole bunch of 10-round magazines, because you can have as many magazines as you want. There's no law restricting the amount of magazines you have. I don't know if having a law on magazine capacity is really necessary in most states, or in any state for that matter.
Last section of this beautiful video is...
It is mind-boggling to me that the suppressors, a suppressor, this was not part of the original NFA laws of 1934. It was amended in a long time later. We're going to show you guys why this should actually be free for everybody, because it's a safety device, if anything else. Just pretend that we're out shooting with our friends. I'm shooting a 5.56 right here on a chambered thing, and I just take a shot right here. And Max didn't have his headphones on the right way. Max, do you hear a ringing sound right now?
Yeah.
Now, the benefit, here I'll trade you, Reese. The benefit of having something suppressed is the fact that in case you don't have your ear pro, or even if you are wearing your ear pro, you could still shoot this thing and it's relatively quiet. That was incredibly quiet. In fact, the loudest part about it was the bullet whizzing far away from me and hitting a rock, and also just the bolt kind of closing, right? This is incredibly quiet. Now, the trade-off is if you have something like this, maybe they're afraid that you can commit crimes quietly. Here's the deal though. In most cases, people who are going to make their own home suppressors are already committing those crimes. They're not going to go buy a $1,000 one and then use it to commit a crime. Does that make sense? So this should be a safety device, and in most cases, this is a very quiet setup. This is a 9mm shooting unlimited ammo, red rockets with a suppressor, so it's very quiet. In most cases, if you're shooting, actually let's go do this. If you're shooting a full rifle, something over here like this, even with the suppressor, it's still incredibly loud. Let me prove that point right now. That was still incredibly loud for being suppressed. Point. I don't think that if a device can make the gun, one, bigger and safer, that we should be required by law to pass a background check and pay $200 as a bribery extortment fee to acquire it. I think that this should be readily available for all people. If you can own a firearm, I think you can own a can. And it's not that hard to go make them. So the people who can't go buy them, they still have them. They can 3D print them. In fact, most of these things are 3D printed today. If someone has the device to 3D print it and they have the blueprints, they could go do that. That is what criminals do. But us law-abiding citizens, we go pay the fine. It is what it is. It's $200.
Guys, let me know which one of these rules a toddler might have made, or which ones you guys hate the most.